Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about the ASUS Memo Pad FHD 10. This is a 10-inch pad. It is ASUS's attempt to get into the lower priced market. This tablet comes in 16 and 32 gigabyte storage. I am reasonably impressed with this tablet, and we'll go into why as we move along. It's not without its drawbacks, and as I said, it is designed for those persons who are looking for a middle-of-the-road tablet. This tablet at 16 gigabytes sells for $280 on Amazon, or $328 on Amazon for the 32 gigabyte unit. It does come with an expansion slot, which if you turn to the side, you'll see over here what we have is we have the volume up and down, and we have the audio out. Sorry, on the top here, we have the power up and power on and power off. Over here we have our expansion slot, our micro SD slot. We also have a micro USB, and we also have a micro HDMI. They've included everything. They have gotten away from the traditional plug-in on the bottom, their proprietary plug, which hey, I like that. So you will just plug in your micro USB right into this dude and have no trouble whatsoever. Runs on Android 4.2.2. There is a slight overlay on that Android. That is, they have their own setup over top of it. It's very lightly done. It's no big deal. It comes with 2 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. It's doing well. It has a 1.6 gigahertz dual-core Intel Clover Trail processor. That is one of the compromises that ASUS has made in bringing us a budget tablet, is they have gotten away from the Tegra processors, the quad cores. So this tablet will produce decent results playing games. Don't get me wrong, but it is not a game tablet. It is a tablet designed for those persons who are doing more business apps than they are doing games, or at least in a 50-50 market. So this is the screen when you first fire up your unit. It's a nice looking screen. I don't know how clear that'll be for you looking at it, but it's a very nice looking screen. There are some wonderful features of this tablet. Over in the corner here, you'll see those hash marks. I hope that those are clear to you. I'll bring that a little closer. You touch the hash, and you get your floating apps. And these floating apps, as you can see, there's a calendar, are taken after, say, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 2014 with its floating apps. Unlike the Galaxy, this one does not use a S Pen to draw the area in which you want your floating app, but it does have floating apps. One of the things I like about this particular program that ASUS has here is you have the option of changing these floating apps. You have Gmail and Calendar. You have Buddy Buzz. If you're unfamiliar with Buddy Buzz, it's just a social sharing program. It'll allow you to have your Twitter and your Facebook, etc., all in one app. You have your browser and the compass. You put your compass on there, and it'll show you true north and so on. Kind of a nice little tool. You also you have your calculator, your audio wizard, a dictionary, a video player, a unit conversion or converter, and a countdown, which is nothing more than a stopwatch. Compass. Anyhow, if you go over here, you'll see an add button, and you can select from any of your widgets to either add to or take away. You can remove from that. Let's get out of there and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go back. If you go over here and we slide over and we take that, now I can edit. I can, with the X, I can actually go in and I can remove something. I can add something, etc. We certainly don't want to do that today. There's another nice feature that this tablet has. If you take the home button, you apply your finger firmly, hold it for a second, another window is going to come up. And this is your quick launch windows. It doesn't stay up long, so if you don't do something right away, it's not going to stay up. You've got your settings, you've got your programs, you got your Google, your lock, and your voice commands. Also, these are also changeable. If you go to the settings, I'm sorry about that. If you go to settings, it will allow you to also modify those. Okay, we certainly don't want to do that right now, but it could be done. So they haven't just given you a streamed down version of their higher quality, say their 700s, 500s, or 300s. They really have given you some new tools. One of the things I like about the tablet, other than those two extra buttons, the long pressing home button and the floating apps button, is they have given you a real assortment of apps. They didn't shortchange you. You've got your normal apps, your Google apps, of course. You have your Kindle, but you also have ASUS Artist, which is a very nice drawing program. You have ASUS Studio, which is an editing for your pictures. You have your Audio Wizard, which allows you to change the mode of the sound of the actual audio coming out based on whether you're watching a movie or music or recording or game or speech, etc. And one of the real nice features to this tablet, if we go to YouTube, let's slide that back. I don't know about you, but I'm a big Drift Away fan, Adobe Gray. Listen to this.
I look for the light through the pouring rain. You know that's a game that I hate to lose.
Now I'm in a large room, and I can be anywhere in this room and hear that sound very, very clearly. The sound on this ASUS might be the best I've ever heard. It is fantastic. It's very crisp. It is very clear. I don't think you'd be disappointed if you bought this, if nothing else, for the apps and for the music. It's a very, very, very nice program. Let's open up Office real quickly. I'm going to go remind me later. We're going to open up Word, and I'm going to just create a new document. Now let's just type a little there. And now I'm going to press my hash mark, and I want my calculator to pop up there. So you can see, oh, that one's going to be very troubling for me. There we go. You can see I can actually be in Word, I can be on the internet, I can be anywhere I need to be, and I can pop up my calculator or my calendar or some other program right within it. And we want to discard those changes. Sorry about all the backspace or back buttons, but I want you to see how nice those hashes are. As far as the tablet is concerned, we're looking at a pound 1.2. It is sleek. If you get a good view of that, there's nothing to this tablet. It is extremely light. They used a knurled plastic back on this. It gives it a feeling very similar to the Google Nexus 10, which with that anti-slip feature. So I like that also. They did cut a few corners, but in my opinion, where they cut, they put back in something else, and so you do get a very nice tablet for your money. Now, as far as the cameras, your forward-facing camera is a 1.2 megapixel, nothing to write home about. On the rear is a 5 megapixel. Now, for 5, I normally would like to see an 8, but on a 5, this one produces a very clear picture. You'd be very impressed with the picture. Very nice picture. They did remove the flash as they on and off again with their tablets, ASUS. They sometimes put it and they sometimes take it away. As the Lord gives, the Lord takes away, and so does ASUS. As far as the screen resolution, it's 1920 by 1200. It is decent looking. However, I will tell you that in brighter rooms or outside, it is very challenging. It is not the brightest tablet I've ever seen. It is a disappointment, but when you're just sitting in a normal room and you're watching a movie or a video or something, or playing a game, it's very adequate. It's very, very adequate. What I did notice at this angle here, if you can see my hand, I don't know how clearly you can see that, but about this angle, you begin to lose the screen. So angles on this tablet are not the best. As far as connectivity, it has Wi-Fi, it has true Bluetooth 3, it has a true GPS, it has a gravity sensor, an e-compass, a light sensor, and a gyroscope. Again, as slots I was talking about earlier, you do have your micro HDMI, your micro USB, your micro SD slot, which allows you to add another 32 gigabytes to this puppy. So they've given you a lot. They've taken a little away. They've taken a little away on the camera and taken a little bit away on the processor. But other than those two areas, this and the dimness of the screen, it's a very, very decent tablet. Now, battery life. I really like this. 10 hours of light use. It's a solid 10 hours. Moderate use is 7 to 8. Pros, decent performance, light and slim, quality built, stylish, great work tablet. Light and thin, charges very quickly, can't beat the battery life. Quality components, fantastic shortcuts with the floating buttons, fantastic sounds. Nice add-ons with the apps. It feels wonderful in your hand. The HDMI, USB, and micro slots make it a fantastic addition. Also, it has Miracast, so you can beam your movies right to your Miracast compatible TV. Cons, as I stated earlier, the screen seems to be a little bit dim in brighter environments. Processor works decent, but under heavy loads, you're going to notice some limitations. Otherwise, hey, this is a very good deal for $280 or $328. A very good deal, and I like the feel of it. When you move around in there, ASUS has done a really good job of making it feel comfortable, not just in your hands. No, don't get me wrong. They've made it comfortable in the way the tablet is put together, the way the apps are put together, the types of apps they have given you, the sound. I mean, you can't beat the sound on this tablet. The ASUS Artist and Studio, the Buddy Buzz, all fantastic programs. The dictionary, I didn't actually show that to you, and I should. Right over here, they give you a dictionary. So if I tap on a word, gotta get it just right. My big fat fingers often don't pop up, but I tapped on the word family, and what it does is it pops up with the definition of that word.
Family.
And then of course it will speak it to you. You can turn it back off by pressing it. So it's a quick dictionary. If you come across a word you're not familiar with, you just turn it on, you tap on your word,
Family.
and there you go. The ASUS Memo Pad FHD 10-inch tablet from ASUS, $280, well worth the investment. Thumbs up.